had a choice of which company you wanted to work for as a commission only sales representative, which one would you choose? Apple or Nokia? Now, most people, hopefully you all would have chose Apple, but I'm not sure. Let me know in the comments below on which one would you prefer as a commission only salesperson. But I wanted to follow up on that particular video and really tailor this message toward business owners or companies that are experiencing low sales, right? Now, in that particular example, you and I know that Nokia is a brand that has decreased in market share over the past 10 plus years, and Apple has increased in brand recognition over the last 10 years. Now, as it relates to sales, more than likely you would agree with me that Apple has surpassed Nokia as it relates to phone sales. Now, I wanted to get into more of the intricate details on not branding, but one is the difference between sales and marketing, and how both methods require skill. Okay, so let me make that prerequisite that both require skill. But I wanted to focus on the sales side because sales and marketing is different. Okay, but I wanted to focus on the sales side. Now, some of you all, as it relates to the companies that you own, your sales channel or your sales method has not changed that much. For instance, in the aviation world, and that's one of the worlds I'm in, there is still not, it's changing to a little bit, but most of the sales take place offline, right? It slowly but surely is moving toward a digital world, but most of them still take place offline. To the contrary, to a company like Tesla, right? They announced about a month ago that they were, it may be because of cash flow reasons, but they were I won't say laying off, but they were closing all of their retail outlets as it relates to sales. So they won't have any in-store sales representatives or displays anymore, at least from a national level, right? So why do you think they made that decision? One of the reasons why, I think, is because of brand recognition, and they have something that is not a commodity yet, right? So they have a pricing, they have a position as it relates to pricing and brand. So when you control that particular category as it relates to market share and branding, you can do things like that because you can force people through a sales channel that they may not necessarily want to go through, but because you own the market share and you have a product that's in demand, right? Even though they still have issues with it, they have a product that's in demand, right? So that's the one thing that I would advise those of you all that are not in industries where you have some type of proprietary feature or product that will allow you to have that brand and pricing position. Create an experience where your product is in demand, right? And if you want to know more about that or how you can actually do that, send me a DM or send me a message, and we can actually discuss this further. But I wanted to go into the sales side because, so many companies, especially if you are in a space that your product is a commodity or your industry is in a commodity. For instance, insurance. Insurance was one of the first commission-only jobs I had when I came out of college, and that was over 10 years ago. But I didn't know this then, but I knew I would have had a more successful career, and I was in insurance for over 5 years. But if I knew this then, I would have known how to actually package a commodity, right? So whatever, because then you can get insurance online now. So the more readily available a product or a service is, the perceived value of it goes down, as opposed to like something like a Tesla, right? So as a company owner, if you're owning a product or service like this, you need to make sure, especially if you're still using a sales channel where you're using people to sell your product or service, you need to make sure that they have some type of leverage, right? Because if they don't, just like going back to my initial example about Nokia and Apple, imagine if you're the owner of Nokia, right? You can't use, even though I don't think it'll be effective if you had physical sales representatives, but because of their market share and where the cycle of the cell phone industry is, if they hired sales representatives, and more than likely the reason why they would do that is to try to keep costs down from a marketing perspective, but yet and still that distribution channel of hiring salespeople wouldn't be effective because everybody's buying their phones online, right? So you have to have a balance, and every industry is different, but you need to make sure that both are working, your sales and your marketing side. Both take skill, right? Because I've heard so many company owners that try to hire salespeople just to keep from, spending on marketing, and it's troublesome when you don't assist your sales reps with marketing. Why? Is because you're allowing them to carry the load on marketing and sales, and dependent upon their skill, right? They may succeed and they may not, right? So, but usually it's hard to find very well-trained salespeople, especially if you didn't hunt them out, right? So if you open up a job position for a sales representative, if I'm a qualified, well-experienced sales representative, I'm not gonna apply for your position, especially if you have something that I can't have a leverage foothold, right? Because that's just the nature of the business, and smart people know that. Smart salespeople know that. So if you're a company owner and you have something that's of a commodity, you don't have anything that's proprietary, and you want to know how to increase your sales, send me a message. But leave some comments, questions below. Let me know what you think, and let me know if I need to create more videos like this. Hope you're having a wonderful day, and I'll talk to you in the next one. Peace.